Okay. Not gonna lie. Look, I had something else planned. Sorry. I did not really want to get in. I kind of was done with this dude, but he wants to double down on his whole thing of trans women are not really or not biologically men. Yes, they are. I'm sorry, that's a fact. You can sit there and push for straight men and try and go out with trans all you want. It's not gonna happen. All right, maybe someone on your side of the fence might go for it, but I wouldn't. Most men wouldn't. Someone who is born a man turns into a woman is a woman, but not biologically. All right, and I don't care what you say. And honestly, I wouldn't have even came at this. I would have kind of left it alone. Because I saw this and I was like, screw it. Because this came out on the 3rd. And I was like, fuck it, I don't care. But I was just kind of annoyed because just the whole doubling down of if I don't date you, I'm transphobic. If someone. No. Okay, like I said before, if someone doesn't want to date me because I'm too dark, that's fine. If it's because I'm Hispanic or I'm a mixed race. But still, they're not racist, alright? They don't have to. Back when I had long hair, I'm talking my hair was down to my fucking waist. That doesn't mean they should have gone out with me because of whatever reason. They don't have to do shit. People don't have to do a goddamn thing. Stop pushing that shit. Alright? I could deal with you better if you weren't so one fucking condescending, dude. Two, would actually make some good points. Don't get me wrong. I like the fact that you're actually using a little bit more science, or at least you're citing your sources and all that. But most of these were like from the Guardian and shit like that, and like I'm not playing. Like let me prove this. Like look at this. This is the only one I found, which I checked that out. And the medical dictionary, where you're talking about it, blah blah blah. And there's another one. There's one government website where just like how we define sex and all that. And I was like, okay, fine. I guess I can kind of give you that, but still, it's going on about chromosomes and I forgot what cancer.org. You put your thing here. Yeah, online library of something. I don't know. Okay, just about for a more just society. Like, no, don't give me that shit. We got what we need. Wait, is this it? I think this is it. Let's click on this one. Yeah, here we go. The belief of Homo sapiens is absolutely dimorphic and, blah, blah, blah. There is, yes, some people are not born with the way thing where, a woman can be born with the penis. It's very rare. Same thing with the man being born with the vag. It's very rare. Let's see, frequency may be as high as 2% of live births. As high. May be as high. And even if it's 2%, that is still a very small amount of the damn population. But I don't even know when this is done. Oh, wait, where is it? Okay, 2000. Okay, so this is before the whole gendered identity crap came about. But anyway, the rest of these, like the Atlantic and the New Yorker and all that other crap, the Guardian right here. I mean, yeah, I can read these things. I can read sources just by looking at that. Most people can. They probably don't bother. But anyway, here's your thing you were going on. And let's see. Back in the day was like when at most was about 3%. Transgender range from 3% North Dakota to 8% in Hawaii. Okay, so wait, no, that's a different one. Oh, here we go. No, Massachusetts. I could have sworn there was one about the U.S. Okay. Massachusetts just estimated about 3% of adult population. Okay, so this is done in one area. I don't know. Probably didn't read this one all. Fuck it. Okay, North Dakota 8% and all that. Okay, this is done 2014 and so on. I'm not checking the years. I'm being a dumbass. Anyway, just because someone identifies as trans, this is done in 2016, when this shit was really kicking up. You know what I mean? But okay, yeah, I was right. Estimated 3% of the U.S. adult population, roughly. Okay, identify as transgender. Okay, keep in mind this is 2003 in California. No, damn it, whatever. About early 2000 when there was 3%. You get this thing coming up in 2016 when other shit's exploding and people who identify as trans. Dude, you identify as trans. I don't see you undergoing any hormone therapy. I've ran into No, I ran into one. It's a gay guy, and he just puts on like nail polish and puts on like the free samples of makeup. He goes in there, puts that shit on. Like he'll take 20 minutes like dolling himself up and shit like that. And I think he got mad at the manager. He was like, "Sir, this and that," because the dude was wearing like a fucking hoodie and jeans and flip flops. The guy goes in there, "Sir," and he got all mad saying, "Why he's a woman." Someone like that identifies as a fucking woman. You can't sit there and tell me that's really a chick. How in the fuck would I know that? None of them going anything. He even had short hair. I'm talking like shorter than mine. You can't sit there and give me that crap. But anyway, you know what? I'm not going to spend too much time on this. Let's jump into this. What are the treatments for Klinefelter syndrome? Because you talk about that in your shit. Or your video, I'm sorry. I shouldn't call it shit. You did put work into it. You obviously put more work into it than I did. Credit where credit is due. I'm going to be fair. Alright? Again, it's a syndrome. It is not a good thing. This is a genetic defect. This is actually a rare thing. Alright? And about one half of XXY males currently have low testosterone levels. This does damage to men. You know, men kind of need that shit. But, I mean, again, trans people, you know, born men get reduced the amount of testosterone and all that. So, okay, fine. Fine. I'm not going to get into all that either, actually. But either way, we know it's a syndrome. Here we are. It is the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. They have it as a syndrome. It is not a whatever. Like, I mean, I guess then again, well, gender dysphoria, I guess. I mean, still, it's kind of a disorder, too. But let's look into this. Here we are, whatever the hell, Klinefelter syndrome. Let's look at the frequency of this. 1 in 500 to 1 in 1,000 newborn males. Most variants of Klinefelter syndrome are much rarer, occurring in 1 in 5,000 or 50,000 or fewer newborns. 1 in 50,000. That is not as common as redheads. Alright, let's see where we're at. U.S. National Library of Medicine. Let's check out the swear on the one because you talk about this too in women. Talks about, oh wait, I'm sorry, I almost forgot. Let's see. The inability to have biological children, infertility. That doesn't exactly sound like something really great to me. That sounds like something that kind of messes you up. That's like, you know, when you get kicked in the nuts as a kid, they tell you they have to go to the doctor to make sure the chick didn't do any damage, depending on how hard it was. Because, again, did damage. It does damage be having this disorder. A small penis, micro penis. I guarantee no guy's gonna be sitting there fucking all proud like, oh, ladies, check out my micro penis. No, you ain't gonna win no chick over with that. If it's a man, he's still gonna have those urges. It's not gonna be a good thing. That is in no way a good thing. That is just not. I mean, I'm glad there's so few people with that problem. Older children, adults with whatever the fuck syndrome tend to be taller than their peers. Compared with this one I can probably disagree with because I'm like 5'5". Just because this dude is 6'3", 6'5", I kind of doubt he has this thing. But you know, whatever. I mean, just I'm short. You know, brown people are not very tall. Men, adults with syndrome have an increased risk of developing breast cancer. FYI, I haven't ever heard of chest cancer. It's called breast cancer because if I was to go to a doctor. And I don't know how well you can even see me on this. You know, let me see. Let me click on my thingamajig. Yeah. As you can see, I don't have tits. But I could go get screened and it would still be breast cancer kind of deal from what I understand. I was told this once when I was a kid. I don't know how true that is. I don't know if it's just because there's a better name. Whatever. But either way, yeah, usually when you hear it, you do think about women. Oddly enough, maybe I think I'm wrong because there was a woman once. I asked if she would be willing to donate for breast cancer awareness. She refused, telling me there's too much money that goes into that. If it was for rectal cancer or whatever, can't think of the name right now. I think that's it. She would donate because according to her, there's so little money going to so little awareness for that's the one she wanted to concentrate on. Again, that was one person. I don't know how many. There was a doctor who did someone got mad at him, and he looked at the dude and he's like, "Look, I do 5-10 free breast cancer surgeries a year. So me, me not donating money is a problem. Yeah, he's like, so like, you're getting on me about not donating money. What have you done? How much did you donate? Some shit like that. I don't quite remember the whole thing. This was a long time ago. But anyway, again, so let's look into it with women. Not gonna get into the whole thing because there's a lot more. But anyway, psoriasis syndrome occurs in approximately 1 in 80,000. 1 in 80,000. Definitely not as common as redheads. Let's go into this one. I'm not gonna go up because they do. It's mostly about women, and one's a baby, and its legs are crossed, but you can still see a little something. I wouldn't want to put on YouTube, but as you can see right here, the science blogs. Anyway, I'll probably see if I can skip up without hitting that. But anyway, the most is about why people have stripes on their skin. What makes lines visible in some people? The likeliness example of mosaicism, a difference between two adjacent cells in the early embryo that appears to be genetic difference in the expanded tissue. There are a couple of ways human beings can be mosaic. The most common example is the X chromosome inactivation in women. Women have 2 X chromosomes, but men only have 1. To maintain priority the regulation and expression of X-linked genes, women completely shut down one X, which one is shut down is entirely random. That means, of course, that all women are mosaic with different X chromosomes shut down in different cells. This normally makes no difference since equivalent alleles are present in each, but occasionally an X-linked skin disorder can manifest itself in splotchy pattern. Another familiar example, the calico fur color of female cats, caused by the random expression of a pigment gene in the feline X chromosome. A more spectacular example, what the hell? I don't know. Chimerism is very rare and the result of fusion of 2 non-identical twins in an early stage of development. Okay, so again, that's just twins, whatever. So again, how many trans men, or how many trans women, men turned from men who became women, have 2 X chromosomes that turn their skin stripy? And again, it's even saying it's going to be visible. So where's that? Where's that at? Alright? Science, man. I'm going with pure science. I'm not going anything from The Guardian at all. I'm not going with anything that can be, that I'm trying to stick away from unbiased stuff. A thought catalog I admit could be, some of this could be, like this science blogs, I don't know, could be. But I shown another video where this talks about with cats, so we definitely know this is most likely true. This one right here, I kind of doubt the U.S. National Library of Medicine is right-wing extremist, hatred, bigoted, sexist, homophobic, transphobic, and bullshit like that. Now, here's just, differences between men and women and so on. Men get fat in the belly, women in the ass and thighs. I like the way they just put that there. Men and women see things differently. Men are larger. On average, men are about 10% larger than women. This pattern persists from birth since infants tend to be larger than girls. Men are stronger. Yeah, because that's more common. 30% more upper body strength. Women are obviously stronger when it comes to lower body strength, so I don't know. At least they seem to be, I guess, because of more muscle, whatever. Girls mature more quickly. Men are much more prone to nearly every illness than women. As you can see, there's there's benefits and all that. Women live longer. I don't know how much of a benefit that is. Depends. Men and women's vital organs differ in size and efficiency. Men's fertility lasts longer. You can tell a lot by looking at their fingers. In general, women's index fingers are larger than their fingers next to their pinky. With men, it's the opposite. Men are big, hairy apes. Okay, yeah. I don't have that much hair. Look at that. Yeah, yeah. Is that showing? Oh no, it's not showing. Look at that. Yeah. See, nah, I can't really say I'm a big, hairy ape, but Anyway. Sorry. Men burn calories faster than women. That's mostly because of muscle mass. If you were looking for the reason that the patriarchy must be abolished, there it is. Okay, so this actually might be more right wing. Their bones are different. Women's skeletal structure have wider hips, broader facial bones, smaller chins, a larger trunk, and shorter legs than men. Women have more erogenous zones. A greater area of the female body is susceptible to sexual stimulation than the males. Either that or women are just sexier. That's pretty funny, actually. I'll give it that. Anyway, okay, so you know what I'm gonna say this right here, but it could be pretty right leaning. I'm gonna just go out and say it. Okay, but anyway, let's look at this: male or female. Smithsonian National Museum of Natural History. How do investigators of science tell a bone skeleton belongs to a man or a woman? The clues lie in the bones themselves. The skeletal raw size and sturdiness give some clues within the same population. Males tend to have larger, more robust bones and joint surfaces, and more bone development at muscle attachment sites. However, the pelvis is the best sex-related skeletal indicator because the distinct feature adapted for childbearing. The skull also has features that can indicate sex, though slightly less reliably. Yeah, goddamn, I can't talk. Sorry, I think it's because I rant and kind of talk fast at times. But anyway, slightly less reliable. So here's the difference. They can tell. I mean, pretty much with basically 100% positivity usually, because I forget this part right here. Great, you can't see it. God damn it. Okay, there's the hip bone, as you can see. One's larger. No, I'm sorry. The female one's larger. The smaller. It even says so right there. Left male, right female. But if you look at the part where the leg conjoins, you can see like the whole. There's a gap basically. I don't know all the name, but the gap is in there to help push out the kid. There's a bigger gap, and the little holes right there that connect to the hip itself. There's the wider hole apparently in women. I don't know why it's just there. I guess maybe ovaries. I can't tell you, but anyway. So there's that. So you can also tell with the skull, and then also males have larger skeletal size, bone mass than females despite comparable body size. This goes into a whole mess of crap. I'm just not even gonna get into it. But I think I did this in a different video. Now here's another one, guys. If you look at your fingers, right here, between your pinky, your ring finger, and your pointer finger. All right, women's is gonna be more flush. Yours are not. It's possible for that to be the opposite, obviously, but it is not very common. This right here is talking about it. Is your ring finger larger or shorter than your index finger? The reason for the difference is in our hormones. A new study in mice shows it for the first time. But again, this is just, obviously no, there's no difference between men and women. There's absolutely no difference. No difference. If you're born a man, you can turn to a woman, and there's absolutely no way of knowing. There's no difference between our bones. There's no difference in our genes. No difference between our hormones or any of that. And trust me, you can take all the hormone pills you want. Your fucking bones are not going to stretch out. I honestly don't see that happening. Part of your skull is not going to change. And all that. That's just not going to happen. Not on its own anyway. At least not the skull part. Your finger, I don't think there's any surgery that can handle that. At least not yet. Not to my knowledge. Is a man's skin really different? The skin of a man versus that of a woman is significantly different. The ability to grow a beard, blah, blah, blah. From the structural point of view, some of the differences include skin thickness, collagen density, loss of collagen, as well as texture and hydration. These differences in the skin may, in fact, create differences in the treatment room. Let's look at each of these aspects in more detail. Skin thickness, about what is it? I think we know the thickness of their skin varies with the location and age, sex, and of the individual. Additionally, androgens, i.e., testosterone, which causes an increase in skin thickness, accounts for the men's skin is about 25% thicker. Okay, so you know what? Taking some hormone pills probably get rid of that. Okay, collagen density. Because of age, men have higher collagen density than women. This is the ratio of collagen and thickness in the skin. Researchers believe that the higher collagen density accounts for why women appear to age faster than men of the same age. When considering intrinsic genetically programmed aging of the skin has been said that women are about 15 years older than men of the same age. Less collagen, or loss of collagen, the physical signs of aging in adults, such as wrinkles and laxity of the tissue, are closely related to the collagen content of the skin. Both men and women lose about 1% of the collagen per year after their 30th birthday. Alright, I'm going to have to keep that one in mind. Superficial perspective, the texture of the man's skin is very different than the women's. Texture on a man's is rougher than the stratum corneum is thicker. There's also a difference in the composition of sebum and its production after puberty. Sebum production is greater in males than in females, which is attributed to the androgen secretion and accounts for why men have longer lasting acne. The cells of the man's sebaceous glands have more positive recaptures for androgens, which explains why they produce more sebum. Interestingly, redness, proliferation of something sebacous glands, and swelling of the skin in the nose, a condition known as rhinophrenia that is found in the extreme case of rosacea, is only seen in males. Again, okay, so some of this scenes just, I mean, for all I know, this right here is because of testosterone and blah blah blah. But again, to what I was saying, you gotta quit pushing this whole thing. Like, I honestly just fine. I mean, aside from this, what you can do with your skull and all that, none of this can be changed by surgery. All right. I mean, immediately, like, there's a hairline. Our hairline is deeper. Women's isn't, but surgery can get rid of that. Men tend to have stronger jaws. Surgery can also, have that taken down, and so on. All right. I mean, honestly, I could have got rude. I honestly didn't want to get rude. I think if I see this fucking shit triple down, I just might, and I'm probably gonna go into the whole thing of people who are psychotic, or how you know someone is, or I guess insane, or basically psychotic, whatever you want to call it. Because one of the definitions of, or one of the ways you can tell someone is psychotic, is are they a harm to themselves, or are they harmful to society? Now, keep in mind, being trans doesn't mean you're harmful to society. However, it can be considered harmful to yourself. You have those people who, like that one woman who's thought that she should be blind or whatever the hell, so she puts like bleach or some shit in her eyes. That right there could be considered psychotic. Why? Because she fucking purposely harmed herself. What do you call a group of people who are more likely to commit suicide? Which I did another video because, and it's not because of bullying, it's because fucking they do not pass for whatever gender they want to be. They don't pass, and therefore it fucks them up mentally. They off themselves. That can be considered psychotic. What do you call, purposely paying someone to chop off parts of your body? What do you call that? Because beyond, like, there's articles that saying that people who get tattoos are more vain than those who don't, because it's kind of like like a whole notice me kind of thing or whatever. They're more, I think it's vain. I forget the whole thing, or I guess attention seeking. I forget the actual word for it. But either way, same thing. They're purposely going out of their way to get someone to get a hot needle with some ink and put something, draw something on them. I know there's like something like that. It's like more vain, more selfish, something like that. I forget what the hell it is. And again, I'm not bashing any of this. I'm just saying, if I really want to get into definitions and do things literally step by step and so on, I could be a dick about it. I'm not going to do that because like I said, I might, because I am sick of this shit. I'm not trying to be an asshole, but it's really, really annoying the shit out of me. It's pissing me off. Because this whole thing of, if you don't date me, you're transphobic. No. Alright? No. I'm sick of this shit. Alright? I'm sick of people like this pushing this crap of, oh, we need more minorities in TV. There is roughly 7.5 billion people on Earth. Roughly, I think it was like 1.6 billion are white. Alright? So, then, in other words, we need more white people on TV. Because they're a minority. Worldwide, they're a minority. Why is, you know what I mean? Like, if you really want to push for, giving the minority, TV time, then you should be ecstatic every time they whitewash some fucking thing. Speaking of, you know what? Just to protest some of that shit, I went off and I fucking bought this crap. It's not a bad movie. It's not a great movie either, but you know what? I goddamn bought it because, you know what? Fuck it. I'm sick of this. There's nothing wrong with it. All right, I don't care about the gender of someone or of a character. I don't care about, you know, I'm not even gonna go into that. All right, that's different shit. I'm just honestly, I'm not gonna do that kind of rant. What I'm saying is, no, trans women are not biologically women. They are biologically men. All right, very few people are born infertile. It is not a super common thing. Accidents can happen to make someone infertile. That is a different story. People born with the genetic disorder to do that to them. It's different. All right, it is not a tragedy that someone who is a man wants to become a woman. It is not a tragedy that a woman wants to become a man. There's nothing wrong with it. I will support it. I can partly I'll condone it. I don't know about. I'll say support it. As far as, yeah, you have my moral support. I'm obviously not gonna pay for it. But this whole thing of I have to date someone that I'm not into. This whole thing, someone has to date someone they're not into. Blah blah blah. No, all right. And that's kind of funny because I was going through the whole thing where you say people want to debate you, they can do it here. It's funny how absolutely nobody is disagreeing with you to your other videos. I didn't try and comment for all I know. You just only approving the ones you can try and the ones you know you can disprove and so on. Because I know before people were just laying into you. And that, or I think you just kind of become irrelevant. I mean, honestly, I don't really get much views every time I do a video by you, but I don't do it for the views, kind of, I guess. But, I mean, I do it mostly because I'm sick of it. It is shit. I'm tired of hearing how white people are fucking racist. I'm tired of hearing how straight people are fucking homophobic and how they need to change and so on. Sick of this shit. Alright? Any problems I have in my life is my fault for the most part. Yeah, there's a few things out of my control, but holy shit. Just because this whole thing of, again, like I said, I'm 5'5". I am not a tall person. Most women like tall men. Because a woman doesn't want to date me because of my height doesn't mean shit. Alright? It doesn't mean they're fucking height phobic. Doesn't mean they're prejudiced. Doesn't mean any of that. Well, I may be prejudiced in the fact that, yes, they have a preference. Oh well. That is their right. Alright? I got a preference towards Asians. Preference towards whites. Some Hispanic women. It depends. But, I know it's, you know what, I got into all that before. Like I said, I say this every time. Those are what I like. I prefer people with lighter skin than me. I can go with someone darker than me, but they better have a real bubbly personality. Because that's, I mean, yeah, personality means a lot. But as far as like just someone I've never seen before, someone, goes into where I work, someone I see on the street, yeah, I'm going to look at the one with lighter skin more likely unless one has a really big chest. Different story. But again, no, and you know what? In fact, I find it funny that actually, trans people are the ones who, they don't want to be judged and they want people to judge them and so on. But they are the most judgmental ones. You, man, you sit there, well, not wanting to date someone is slightly transphobic. Not wanting to, go out with another man is slightly homophobic. Not wanting to go out with someone who's, crippled or whatever, or I guess paraplegic or whatever, it's slightly whatever the hell. Not want to go out with someone who's a different race than you is slightly racist. That sounds pretty fucking judgmental to me. And then, what is it there's shit, about with Cat Black and fucking attacking Blair White? Just basically calling her all kinds of shit. Don't even give me that shit. Alright? I haven't heard you say anything about fucking Blair. So cool. That's why I'm saying Cat. But Cat is a trans. She goes after Blair because Blair doesn't toe the line or agree with everything she's saying. I don't support that. Why is that? The group of people who want people not to judge them are the most judgmental. Well, why is that? And I used to be friends with one. I was there at the beginning of her transition. And then afterwards, after she's like, I don't know how fucking tall, like, obviously taller than me, but, like fucking double D's and shit like that, we used to work together. We used to hang out together. We used to always, when we go downtown with the gay bars and shit like that. I had no problem with it. My whole thing was, to any gay guy was, I respect the fact that you are, just respect the fact that I'm not, and we're cool. I don't care. But as soon as she fully transitioned, I should say, I'm sorry, and had those things just out there showing them off and so on, admittedly, like, I would look because it was just, I knew what they were. Like, there were boobs and all that, but, like, I always wondered, like, I didn't know if they were fake or not. I never remember her telling me about the pills she was taking to grow them and all that. But anyway, I remember when I saw her one time, I was like, hey, how's it going? Just looks at me, goes another way. Or kind of looks at me, like, but again, this is after I cut my hair, because she knew me back when I had really long hair. Oh, okay, didn't recognize me. That's cool. Whatever. Leaves. Next time I see her, hey, what's going on? It's me, Greg, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's my name. I have another video where I'm doing the Buffalo Wing Challenge at Pluckers, and, you can hear my name in there a few times, so whatever. But anyway, yeah, I know. Like, no, she was like, walks away. Her friend's like, who was that? Oh, I don't know. What the fuck? So I was kind of mad on that one. I go there, yeah, I'm Greg, blah, blah. It's me, Greg. Well, how are you? How have you been? This and that. I haven't seen you in a long time. Yeah, I don't hear. Oh, really? Just walks and then just walks away like no. I didn't say nothing, but like sitting there in my head like fucking fuck you, bitch, like shit. Like I was your friend when you were just transitioning. When you were still pretty much a man with like A cup, pointy, kind of saggy tits because they were just growing. They were just starting to develop. Honestly, it just baffles me how judgmental the one group of people who should know not to be judgmental or claim they should not be judgmental. Alright? And again, you know what? I don't even remember where I was going. I was going to go into about the whole suicide thing, but I'm sick of that shit because, like, oh, here I am picking and blah, blah, blah. Yes, you said you were going to get a video response on it. Because, yes. Because why would someone want to come into your thing where you control everything when your side is known for blocking and banning people and calling everything fucking hate speech and so on? You sit there saying that someone doesn't agree with you, it should be considered an act of violence. Basically. I don't remember the exact wording, but that was pretty much it in a nutshell. I don't agree with that shit either. If you don't agree with me, if someone doesn't agree with me, you can comment on my shit. That is fine. People have called me on my other crap one time. I forgot I was made fun of, what's that one bitch? Lainey. When I was, saying how fucking cold-focused, dead-eyed bitch she was. Someone called me on it. Guess what? I owned up to it. I was like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Point me out when I'm wrong, dude. If I'm wrong, I'll think about it. Oh, shit, you know what? Maybe this person's right. That's fine with me. But I am sick of this shit, man. And you know what? I'm done with this rant. I'm sorry. Again, that's my little scientific part of it. I gave the science behind it of why trans women are biologically men. Like it or not. Like it or not. You know what? Let me adjust this damn camera. I'm going to get that thing on. Ah, shit. Alright, I guess that's as good as it's going to get. Anyway. I did the science behind that. There's your science. I'm obviously going to link my shit. Anyway, please agree with me or don't agree with me. Like, comment, subscribe. You know what? Share this video and all that stuff. You guys take care. I got another fitness video and prepping one. Some prepping ones coming out. I saw this and I just had to jump on it. I was just like, no. No, I'm not letting that go. I'm not letting it go. I'm going to turn my PS3 off. Not letting it go. No. But anyway, you guys take care. I'll see y'all next time.